Hey guys, look, it's Tujo. What is he doing here? What's happening? He's evolving! Oh no! Explosion! He evolved to a gold tier Patreon. Thank you so much, Tujo, for doing so. Lots of wrinkly, big brain, big PP energy from you. Thank you so much. Hey guys, it's your boy, bowtherainbowwolf, and welcome back to Adastra. Episode 5. So in last episode we learned that Amicus and his brother are competing for the throne of Adastra to become the new emperor. His brother has got himself a pet from another civilization, and Amicus wanted to get a pet as well, and that would be us, because he thinks that would give him a greater chance to become the emperor. He explained it much better, so if you haven't seen the other episode, go back and watch it now, because now we're gonna figure out what happens when we eat that poop food. So let's go. It's not the worst food I've ever had. The earthly smell translates into the taste, but there's a strange hint of sweetness to it, like chocolate, that makes it a little more palatable. I can at least swallow it down without gagging, so that's good, I guess. Amicus has his own cup, though he's paying more attention to the panels than to his food. I may have been exaggerating a bit earlier. Damage appears to be minimal. We're actually lucky that you didn't lock into something worse, like a pit, because there was one very near that star. A pit? Amicus shrugs, waving his hand in the air, as if brushing my question aside. A very strong gravitational singularity that sucks everything up around it, like a black hole? A black hole? Like, its gravity is so powerful that even light gets pulled into it, and that's why it's black. Amicus looks at me in surprise. Oh, so you know what that is? I guess I should just stop being surprised, honestly. You humans really are something. You basically uplifted yourself. I shrug. We just touched on it in my astronomy 101 class. I don't really know much about them. But the fact that your species found out about them in the first place... Anyway, Amicus presses a button and suddenly the hum of the chips comes back to life. Systems back online. And... Amicus pulls the lever, and suddenly the blue disappears, and the windows are filled with wrapping stars again. I immediately look away, feeling the chocolate mud start to work its way up my throat. We were actually almost at Adastra when you took control. Amicus rubs the side of his neck, wincing as he stretches it out. We should be there fairly soon. What is this? I wave my hand at a window, not looking. The bending lights? Well, that's a stretch drive. Basically, space is being shorted ahead of us. Amicus puts his paws together in front of him. And stretches out behind us. Amicus stretches his paws out wide. I don't really know how it works. Only the parents can build this kind of tech, and it's the only way that I could get to Earth. Or anywhere outside the star system, really. They even figured out a way to make time stand still around us when we travel. Otherwise, way too much time would have passed back home. I'm starting to get the picture of how powerful these parents actually are. Being capable of warping space and time to their will? So, how much more time? Arriving at Stella Vita. And just like that, the stars become still again. Amicus grins. Welcome to Adastra, Bo. I look out the window and see a large green and blue sphere shimmer below me. And beyond it there's another globe, this one chalky and grey. A smaller and even brighter orb floats further to the right, its color almost pure white. Amicus points to the more Earth-like sphere. That specifically is Adastra. The planet to its left is Anchorage. And there aren't many people there aside from miners. And the smallest is Torque, another moon. I know that you live on a planet, so Adastra might be a bit small to you. I press a hand to the window and notice that it's ice cold. Looks pretty big from here. Amicus leans over to the console and starts touching at the screen. Re-entry sequence engaged. Go ahead and put your safety straps on. Re-entry is never comfortable in smaller ships. I hurriedly do as he says, sitting down and trying to figure out the seatbelt. Eventually, Amicus has to come over and help, showing me how the strap just feeds into a slot. This automatically pulls the strap tightly across my waist and chest. As Amicus gets in its own seat, we start to curve around to the darker side of Adastra. Ooh, we're finally here! Every now and then, there's a bit of downward tug on my stomach. Sort of like when the passenger jet I was in was landing in Rome. I had imagined that things would rattle around, along with a bunch of fire and heat, just like in Hollywood movies. Instead, there's only a rumbling sound that accompanies the gentle vibration through the seat. There isn't any fire, but I do start to see blue flashes on the other side of the black windows. I look over at Amicus and see that he got his eyes closed, looking relaxed. The wolf opens his eyes and smiles gently at me. Don't worry, this is normal. I realize how nervous I must look, so I nod and lean my head back into the seat. The electric blue flashes stops after a while, and then I feel the final downward pull on my body before the rumbling fades out. We sit in complete silence and darkness for a moment before I hear Amicus moving next to me. Amicus gets up, but the ship stays dark. And so does the hangar. Okay, but why aren't there any lights? Everyone's asleep and I don't want to wake them up. I get the feeling that he just doesn't want anyone to catch us, but I don't say anything. I feed it with my seatbelt, unable to get it undone until I feel Amicus lean over me, breathing in my ear as his large paw covers mine, pressing something that released the strap. I stand up, feeling around blindly as I hold onto the seat, only barely able to make out the red bristle on the headrest in front of me. I reach out the hand. Hey! Amicus' rough paw pads envelop my hand. What's wrong? I can't see anything. Does Amicus have much better night vision than humans do? Oh, can you not see in low light? Amicus starts pulling me along before I hear a soft beep, followed by a whooshing sound. Not really. Another sound catches my attention. Crickets. They have crickets here too? At the same time, I'm hit by a wall of humid warmth, almost like walking into a sauna. Amicus puts his paw against my chest. Wait a second. Then I hear a soft thud, followed by a grunt. Hello? Lean down. My eyes have adjusted a bit more to the dark, and I'm barely able to make out what I think are paws reaching up toward me. I crouch down, and Amicus grabs me under the arms before pulling me clumsily off the deck of the ship. My face mashes up against his furry chest before I'm set down on my feet. That sounds so cozy. Alright, so we're just gonna go straight to my room. Try not to make too much noise. I start to nod, but Amicus is already pulling me along. The humidity presses me down like a physical force, and I start to worry that I might actually have trouble surviving on this moon. It's really hot. Don't worry, things will cool off when we're inside. I hear him panting heavily as we move through the hangar. I still can't see much, just angular shapes in the darkness, but finally I see some light ahead, along with some cold air. We turn around the corner, and I have to blink against how bright it suddenly becomes. I like it. I look around at the pillar and marble floor, the bright lights above me, and what looks like a garden complete with statues extending out through the archways. Well, at least I know that Amicus wasn't lying about living in a palace. What do you think? Wow! I mean, it looks really cool and really expensive. I don't know if the last part was such a good compliment, but Amicus seems happy. Thanks. It's going to be your home for a while, so I'm glad that you like it. Amicus adjusts his cape, fanning it out a little. This is only a small portion of the palace, of course. I'll show you around later, but for now, I want to go to my room and dry out a little. I must look like a mess right now. The humidity doesn't do my fur any favors. I can tell that Amicus is genuinely embarrassed, even if he's trying to joke, so I put my hand up to my hair. I have a little less to worry about, but I'm sure that my hair is pretty crazy right now. True. That patch of fur is really something though. The wolf reaches out and touches my hair, rubbing it between his pads on his fingers. We've made physical contact several times over the last day, but this is the first time that it really feels friendly. We stand there for a moment, just long enough for things to get awkward. Oh no, it's just standing like, I like your hair. This is awkward. Amicus pulls his hand back suddenly, as if realizing what he's doing. He's saved from having to think about something to say as we both hear footsteps coming up the hall to our right. Shit! What? Hide and be quiet! Amicus whispers loudly at me and suddenly pushes me hard back the way we came. I stumble before scrambling around the corner. The footsteps get louder, and I stand up and press my back against the wall, listening. What voice do I give this character? I don't know who it is. Maybe this one. Amicus! I jump, the person almost shouting Amicus' name. Cassius. Amicus' deeper voice responds, sounding cool and collected. Where the hell have you been? His voice is high-pitched and a little more articulate than Amicus. I hope I'm doing it right then. I start to look around the corner, then hesitate. But then I do it anyway, wanting to see who this person is. Luckily, Amicus has moved further down the room so that I'm slightly behind this Cassius guy. Oh, I know I have this much I have spoiled in the Discord. This is his brother. That much I know. I see a white wolf, quite a bit smaller compared to Amicus, but no less intimidating. Maybe even more so. I can tell by his demeanor that he's probably not a fun person to be around. I was out hunting. Is something wrong? Hunting? For 2 days? Is that a joke? Was it that long? Yes! You were supposed to make a speech in Lux yesterday. How many times did we remind you of it? Cassius suddenly takes a deep breath. Really, Amicus, you seem to expect everyone to cover up your mistakes. I can't comprehend how you could have forgotten. I lost track of time. That's not an excuse. How do you expect to become an emperor if you act this way? Amicus growls. Don't even pretend, Cass. You're probably happy I missed it. That's ridiculous, Amicus. I only want what's best for the Empire. Amicus opens his mouth, and then shuts it suddenly. No, I'm not doing this tonight. I'm tired, and I want to go to bed. Cassius quietly regards Amicus for a moment, and then shakes his head. Well, Virginia went in your stead, so you have to thank her when she returns. She's better at that sort of thing anyway. The point was to show Lux that the next possible emperor stands in solidarity with them. And sending your sister is not a good look. Well, walking around in undergarment doesn't look good either. You think that's how an emperor should behave? No one's awake, Amicus. Don't be such a pup. I'm just saying that you look really small without your armor. Now that is not a good look for an emperor. Excuse me? What? I only want what's best for the Empire, and a little runt like you definitely isn't. They stare at one another for a long time, and though I have no idea what's going on, I can almost see electricity arcing between them. Finally, Cassius turns his heel and stalks away, tail switching furiously. Good night, Amicus. Amicus stands there for a moment, still puffed out a little before he finally deflates. Damn it! I stand quietly around the corner, waiting for Amicus to call me back. When he doesn't, I whisper at him. Amicus? His ears prick up and he turns to me. Hey, come on. We should go before anyone else decides to show up. Okay. I can tell by the way the wolf walks, his ears slightly down, his tail almost dragging, that he's not in a good mood. Hey, Amicus, you alright? Oh, yeah, I'm fine. My brother just knows how to irritate me, and I shouldn't have said that to him. The echoing of our footsteps, the only sound. Is he not supposed to see me? No, I need to think the right way to introduce you. Now isn't the best time. Is he the one that challenged you for the throne? Amicus is quiet for a moment, before heaving a huge sigh. Yes, and he's really starting to turn my life upside down because of it. Sometimes I think he just sees this all as a game. We come to a stop at what looks like a door. It's completely smooth though, made of what looks like marble. Amicus doesn't make any move to open it. And you know, he never seemed concerned for me and my duties until after he made his challenge. And that's what's bothered me the most, knowing that it's all an act. I guess you're not really close with him then? Not since we were pups, no. A disturbing thought suddenly hits me. Well, you know in Earth Ancient Rome, the place where you guys uplifted, people would kill each other over the throne. Like, a lot. Does that ever happen here? Amicus frowns. I suppose it happened in the past, but that was a long time ago. Besides, Cassius would never do something like that. Amicus sticks out his paw and presses it to a black square on the wall, and the door slides open without a sound. Ooh, cozy. I feel a rush of cool air come out of the room, and Amicus lets out a happy sigh as he steps inside. Ah, that's so much better. My dad's advisor keeps the climate way too hot in the rest of the palace. I follow the wolf inside and look around. Aside from a few quirks, the room looks as if it would have come straight out of a luxury hotel on Earth. Amicus sits heavily on the bed, making it squeak. He starts to strip off his clothing. Toilet and bath are in there. He nods ahead to another door across from the bed. Then he jabs his thumb back to the large curtain. That's the balcony, if you want to get some air. Though, I don't know why you would want that in this weather. Then he points to the couch. And that can be where you sleep, if it's alright with you. I have known other aliens prefer to sleep on floor though. The couch is fine. I walk over to the red sofa, sizing it up. It's more than big enough, but as I pick up a little black pillow, I notice that it's covered in fur. I inconspicuously pick some of it off before a blanket smacks me in the back of my head. There you go. Is that all okay? Yeah, this is good. I hope the blanket will be enough to keep off the cold that seems to be wafting down from the ceiling. Good. As I said earlier, I will show you the rest of the palace tomorrow, and we'll get some real food too. Amicus sprawls back on the bed, not bothering to draw any blankets, his eyes closed. I would actually like some real food now, but I don't say anything about it and instead lay down. The sofa a bit harder than I expected. Good support, I guess. As I'm settling in, I think that Amicus has already fallen asleep, but that's when he speaks again. And thanks, Bo. I'm not sure what he's thanking me for. For not killing him on the ship? For agreeing to help him become the Emperor? For the way I took his shitty sofa and flimsy blanket without complaints? I'm not sure, so all I say is, sure. Then I hear the wolf snoring softly and the lights suddenly dim down, until they're off. And that's where we end for now. Oh, this is... I really enjoyed the story so far. This is... so far it feels like there's a lot of like character building between me and Amicus. I hope that they will build up the other characters as well. I like it. There's not as much world building as Winds of Change, which was nice. I mean, the world building in Winds of Change was nice, but it's also nice to not have that much in this one and more focus on the characters and what's going on. So I like it a lot. If you like it as well, leave a like. But for now, I love you guys. So take care and remember that you are loved and appreciated, and that you should be proud of who you are, because I want to see you in the next episode. Bye! And that makes it a little more palatable.